Welcome back to the Capella project. Today we're going to be doing more of the brake, suspension and steering on this car. See how far we get. I've bought a whole stack of new parts. I've learned a whole lot more stuff about this car that I'm going to let you guys know about. And I had a few failures along the way as well, but the last time I left you we got this car on the ground. Springs and suspension and stuff like that in, and we're going to continue with that. So let's get into it. In case you forgot, we do have to fix that rear suspension. I'm not happy about that. Let's get right into it. Brakes. Ignore these. I need these, and they can stay there. There's enough room here. I ended up painting all my calipers, cleaning them. These were black before. The barrels came out not too bad. Still need to scrub them a little bit, but Pistons were a big issue. They have pitting. This one's actually not too bad. It does have pitting somewhere. The problem was I wasn't going to buy one, was I? And you come over to these ones, if you can see that pitting, not sure if you can. And I thought, it's just not going to work because I bought a new seal kit, obviously. You can buy pistons. Pistons not a problem. Protex, I think they're about 80 bucks. It's hard opening these with gloves on. So we've got to source some new pistons. Brake pads you can get. I bought brake pads. I think they're about 100 bucks. And the seal kit, which was pretty hard to find, but I did find it. Did find one in stock, because I had that same issue like the discs. But I ended up finding them from a place called Universal Spares, which I used to go there. That's my proper hood. That's where I'm from, right? The boys probably still recognise me if I go there. The Universal Spares, good old Universal Spares, had the seal kit. Here's the seal kit here. I hope it's the right one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is enough for two in this one box, to be honest. It might be. Here's the part number. Protex part number in case any of you guys need it. They're only like, I don't know, 15 bucks, 20 bucks, something like that. Now I'm going to attempt to put one of these calipers together, and then I'll get back to you when I know what I'm doing. I'll show you how to put it back together, because I didn't show you how to pull the other one apart. Don't know if you noticed, but I have 3 pistons here, because I pulled one out of the spare caliper. I have 2 spare calipers, but I only pulled one out. And it was even worse, so that's why we ordered the new ones. So there's one. I'm not going to lie, I struggled, but it's all together. Brake pads are in, and we're going to attempt to do the second one on film, which I don't think is going to go much better. One thing I learnt is you only need one seal kit. It has enough for both sides. So now I have a spare one. I'm going to start off with the barrel. This is brake fluid. Apparently you can only use brake fluid or some type of red grease. So I'll lube that seal up. It's just a bit of fiddling around, trying to get all the seals in. Not so much this one. This one's not bad. The other thing is my fingers are covered in brake fluid, and that's not good. Painted caliper, brake fluid, not good. that is in now. When I put the new piston in and I tried to put the seal on it, it was a big pain in the backside. I ended up having to blow this thing back out with the compressor. So we're going to try, this seal's going to go in that side. We'll just lube the inner. Like a little bit of a donk donk. Don't want to wedge it in there. Come on. Well, you can see how this is going. This is not really a solid table. It's a musician's like box where they put like instruments in or something. Don't ask. I've got a lot of weird shit. That's right, isn't it? I'm gonna find out in a minute. I'm just gonna start pushing it in there. And he sort of does just manage to somehow get in there. Right, so I think that's the right way around, and then we just want to put this seal in. I don't know how to do this properly. It was a pain in the ass on the last one. The other one's in the way. If you just sort of push down on it right at the end where it's already in, it'll tuck itself under. Right, so we got that in. Move on to this piece. I think that's how I done it. I cleaned all these up as best I could. Sort of just are what they are. That goes in there. Now I tried to get the brake calipers or the brake pads in a lot of different ways, and in the end I had to pull the caliper back apart and put them in like this. These were also a bit tricky to work out, but you just sort of gotta be rough with them, yeah. They're pretty strong, and you just push it in there. Slide that back down and make sure it gets into both lower grooves. See, that one's in the lower groove, that one's not. So we'll just give it a helping hand. Come on. That's it, right? Ow! Yeah, watch out for that. But that went in the right spot. Then, I think I put these in. And I actually need the pins off the old caliper. This one was stuffed up. I didn't clean these, and I'm not going to. This is the caliper I pulled the piston out of, and it was rustier than even these two. How did I do that? Oh yeah, fits this way. And I move it down like this. Now I'm just going to put grease on here because I forgot. I'm not going to put much. Just to help it slide. What I did was I pushed down on it as hard as I could. You're not going to damage it. Doesn't matter which side it goes from, it just needs to go. There we go. Right there. Needs to go just not that much. About that much. And I'll wipe all the excess grease off. These are for the brake lines. And you got yourself 2 rebuilt calipers. Let's see if this fits. It says L on it. I'm guessing it's the left side. Brake lines. I'm very happy to see these calipers finally go on. It's been a while. I'm going to tighten them. "50-year-old crush washer." We wrap it around. Which way does it go? It goes this way. Around the back. Through here. Been painful. I'll get a file. I was like, do I just shove them in or do I paint them? So I sat there scrubbing them with degreaser, cleaning them with water, scuffed them with a bit of Scotch-Brite. Let's hit them, we're getting soft. They're definitely not the best, but they will do. Did you notice I bought a windscreen? That was about, I don't know, 250, 300 bucks. Came from Queensland, aftermarket. We're gonna put the tank in. I did get 4 meters of the 2 different size hoses that I found on the car and 6 clamps, and that was 250 bucks from Pertec. Let's take a look under here. I do so regret not pulling out this diff because I can't clean it where it is at the moment. Maybe another day. I do have to change a brake line on here. There is a rubber line somewhere. We need to change that. I found some rust back here. We're gonna have to do something about that eventually because I don't want to leave it there. Seems to be only surface at the moment. Everywhere else seems pretty good. We're going to pull out this tank because it has a big dent right there, and we're going to pull out this cover here. Look at the bodge job they did when they were painting it. This one here is fucked. I really need to invest in some better vice grips. Well, that worked. Check out this. Someone's been MIG welding on the old girl. We have hard lines running straight into it. We have some baby, is that meant to be a fuel filter? That runs to there, that runs around. Anyway, let's pull the tank out. You reckon it's got fuel in it? This is probably one of the dumbest things I'm gonna do today, but that starts, it's already dropping shit. Oh, we're gonna see how this goes. Like I said, I've owned this car since 2007, but I'm sure it hasn't been on the road since the 90s, so is that even, it looks like water. Oh no, it smells like fuel. That is a lot of fuel. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, that's worst case result. What I want do with all this fuel? They must put a full tank before they decided not to drive this. The old lady is definitely not poor. I don't even know if that's going to be enough. It's already up to here. It's a lot of fuel. That one. We got that one. We got this one that's over full. Wow. So now my only large fuel container is this, which is full of 98 that I put in the other day to put in my Club Sport. So I'm guessing we're gonna have to put it in now. I was gonna leave this for another day. Can we even open that door? No, we've got to move this. How do we do this without getting covered with fuel? That's what I want to know. Alright. This funnel has about 1,000 holes in it. I'm just going to have to use the leaky one. It is what it is. I think more fuel's going on the car than anything else. See in there, I've got to get those hoses off. So I'll get them off and I'll be back. It's not too bad on the ear. Oh, a little bit starting. So I've undone all these and we're just gonna amazing. I pulled out the rear shocks. I'm gonna try putting in the standard springs and see if that's any better. I cleaned the shocks and that's the difference in height between the two. They'll probably end up being the same height because that's stiffer. You'll never believe it, but inside that old tank is spotless. Took out all the old arms. I just blew a bit of colour on those so they don't look horrendous, and I'm going to jack it up, tighten them up, start replacing fuel lines. Arms are bolted in and tight. New springs are in. I think we're going to have suspension. So we're going to try cut all this away and maybe touch it up. The other thing I need to do is, that holds my rear bumper bar, and whoever painted the car bogged it up. They did the same to the door mirror and the capella badges on the back. That was also a mission. This is where it's currently at. I tried to get it with the drill a bit, but I'm just going to do this until we go all the way through. For my next trick, I'm going to attempt to drive this ratchet through there with a self-tapper. So it worked. We've got a hole. Horrendous, but we got one. We'll just do a little bit of a spritz. It's not the best, It's good enough. We'll give it a coat of paint to stop it from rusting, and when we respray the car we'll get back to this. We'll give that a quick zip of paint too, just to stop it from getting any worse. Check out the chicken wire that used to hold the exhaust. So we pulled out our 3 hoses. They're much shorter than I thought they were going to be. We got to make up these 2 hoses here, and then this one runs over here. I didn't paint the tank that I'm going to put in, but what I did do is I took off these ones because they were here, and there was another rubber there, and I put them back on because I thought if the factory put them on, they should be there for a reason. Remember that screw from the cover that goes over the, I don't know, the fuel pump wiring and the fuel pump line? Well, we got it out. So another thing we have to do is this sits, well, it sits here, and I don't like the way that sits, obviously, so we're going to try and plenish that. So that is where it's sort of, all of it needs to be. So that's better. Guessing this isn't good for the hose, but you know, it's not really enough, but it's going to be enough. Around my other fuel lines. There we go. There we go. That's on. Now we can screw it into place. But I'm going to go have some lunch. I don't know if this is going to work, but I got that hose clamp holding it. And I'm going to try put my new fuel lines in. Well, looks like I'm going to have to get this thing out. That was a very painful experience. I ended up painting both the brackets that hold the fuel tank. All my brackets are screwed in. So for some unknown reason I decided to paint this thing silver. Also took the factory rubbers. They're off the back, they go here. And we're going to put them back on too. The original screws unfortunately did not survive. So we're just going to run these stainless ones that probably shouldn't be on a car for now. You know what? I actually like that being silver. And we have one petrol tank fully installed. Got my new shirt on. But anyway, this is the moment of truth. We'll see if changing the rear springs was worth it. What do you reckon? I mean, it's not as slammed as before, but it'll pass rego. So if you watched up until now, thank you very much. I've run out of parts. I'm still waiting for the rest of my steering parts. I still need to rebuild the steering box or do something with the steering box because it's leaking. I think I'm going to put the master, the slave, the booster, try put all that stuff in next time and finish off the steering. And that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work we've done to this car. You may see the road eventually. But if you stick around, I guess you'll find out. Till next time.